Hello my friends! Welcome back to Solasta. It's episode 65. And you know, it's actually probably quicker in terms of time to just waddle all the way back to the town. And it is time to return to town and buy stuff. I think there's anything for us to really craft at the moment. Oh. Okay, the game just crashed. Talk to me, Solasta! Oh, there we go. It's alive again. Okay, there we go. I wonder if I should mix some of this. Whether there'll be something else in the future worth making. The way the game is going, I feel like there's probably nothing else to make. I should probably visit the circle and check. Oh, we're surprised. Okay, the game is lagging to death here. I think this game might have a memory leak, because it seems to gain lag spikes in weird places the longer you leave the client open for. Those of you who have watched before have seen like little lag spikes on the turns and stuff, and then I restarted my PC and they went away. I can only imagine that this game has got some sort of memory leak somewhere that's causing this. Oh well, we'll see if the battle is smooth, and if the battle's not smooth, then what we'll do is we'll just save and reload after I restart the client. That's Iron Man Gaming for you, my friends. That is Iron Man Gaming for you. It's a statue with no head. Here they come, boys. Our goblin wizard did it. Counterspell. Eat this. Or not.
I was sure.
Let's go. Blast them. Just trying to kill the shaman fast. No spell for you. They've actually got 2 shamans here. Wow, I rolled a 3, but I still managed to hit, which is quite nice. Action surge! Let's go. Ah, because I've used part of an attack, I think I'm not allowed to do anything. Ah! Well, that's an annoying bug. Well, maybe not actually. I can use my bow to get out of it.
You have them now.
Okay, and now all my actions are back. That's an irritating little way of ruining your turn. Well, I guess that works. Well, it seems the fighting is smooth, so we shall continue. Burn him! I'm being super wasteful here, but you know, it's a case of who cares, right? We're traveling, so we'll rest. I stand here, I'll probably blast him. There we go.
One less enemy.
Get wrecked.
I trained hard for this.
Oh, he's paralyzed. Oh, I'm still using my paralysis arrows. Probably should turn those off. Another 2.
Next time.
Alright, dude, lay off the Uber arrows, okay? He ran away. I guess maybe he's trying to put himself out, I don't know. That's a lot of dice for 15 damage. You know what's funny is, you can see how the saving throw system is falling apart in this game, because he was rolling with disadvantage here. That level 4 lightning strike is DC 17. And I don't think the DC of spells ever improves. And he rolled 16 plus 9 to save against it. But what that means is he only needs to roll a 7 to save against such a powerful spell. And the dragon had, 13, so he only needs to roll a 4 to save against a spell like that. And it makes me wonder as this game goes on, since the enemy keeps on gaining gaining saving rolls as they go along. If eventually the rolls are going to be so good that even the possibility of spells that have a saving throw working is a non-starter. You're just going to be limited to spells which do not require or do not have a saving roll in any way. That just have a hit roll, and that's it. Well, that one's burning, so...
Ooh, that must have hurt.
Oh, yes. Alright. The goblin village was burned down. Let's return to standard arrows. He's picked up a load of his flaming arrows here. Grab the loot, team. We'll do our inventory management when we get back to town. Massive bolts. I have so many, nice bolts. But no nice bow with which to, no nice crossbow from which to shoot them. So they're never going to see the time of day. A lack of equipment is really, sort of crushing part of the thing of, in D&D, of always looking for the nicest, the next bit of gear or whatever. So from my understanding of this game, since our level is maxed out, and we have most of the gems, a max level reached for this campaign, I guess. I guess it's still going to carry on going. EXP wise. But we have 4 of the gems? Or 5. I think we got 5 of the gems out of 7. But yeah, I mean, we are definitely more than halfway through the game. And I've not found any helmets. No helmets have been found. No bracers. The only bracers have been the archery ones that I bought. Few cloaks, almost no necklaces. The rings that I've found have been... I mean, there's been a reasonable amount of rings, but, you know, nothing to write home about, as it were. And in terms of boots, I mean, only the boots of striding and springing I found. I mean, there's obviously those winter boots. But there's no, like, you know, simple boots of +1 movement, or +1 AC, or, you know, like heavy boots that increase AC but reduce movement, stuff like that. Gear kleptomania. I mean, you don't have to go. You don't have to go Diablo 2. It's not necessary to go Diablo 2 on our ass, but some more options, especially in the early game, would be really, really nice. We're off. So this Malakalan ruin is where we're supposed to be going next, but obviously I'm returning to base first for rest and rearmament. Actually, abort travel at next location. I couldn't find any arrow parts. Remember the last time we were in town? I couldn't find any projectile parts to make arrows with. I don't know how often the store refreshes. Or whether projectile parts are a limited stock item. But if I remember correctly, there was a store here. And it might have projectile parts. They're not even expensive, it's just finding them. Because they're necessary for making various arrows, which are naturally useful for what the hell was oh, this spider walk leads to some very weird situations at times. Okay, this guy actually sells loads of potions as well. Does not sell projectile parts, so it would seem. Wow, ain't that a shitter? He does sell arrows, but I suppose I can just buy them. They're not expensive. Sell it. Is this one of these stores that actually gives you a crappy price for everything? I don't know if pricing changes based on where you shop. But it does seem like these merchants that are out in the middle of nowhere give you worse prices. Seems like. That's so funny. That almost looks like, to the untrained eye, that there's a way up there. Isn't that weird? You know, now I can fly, just out of interest. Oh. Since we're here, just out of morbid curiosity. I'm probably just wasting time here, but hey, that's RPGs for you. Back when I was here, I couldn't fly. So there was no way to check walls and such that looked suspicious. And to be fair, this is quite early in the game, so if there is something here, it's a low chance that it's anything powerful or exciting. No, it's actually a solid wall. It's just the map that makes it look... It's just the map that makes it look suspicious. It's interesting how these materials keep reappearing as well. So I guess if you can be bothered, you can...
Undignified, but necessary.
You can farm them. Okay, alright, let's get out of here. I did not find the arrow parts that I wanted. I hope that the town restocks them, because that's a very annoying thing to actually not be able to get any more of. I gotta be careful with my gold as well, obviously, because there are a lot of things worth buying. And that's probably the only way I can upgrade my character now, is by buying stuff. Upgrade my characters, because I can't level them anymore. Let's go, team. Welcome back to town. Gonna check out the quest board and the scavenger board now that we've cleared out another major quest. That might be another way of earning items and money. Gold is definitely tight in this game unless you're willing to farm random encounters. Traveling encounters. What did you find, boys? You found lots of my arrows. You know, I swear the scavenger thing actually is better value than actually bringing stuff back to base and selling it yourself. They found a lot of my arrows that were just basically dumpstered out. Okay, let's move all the ingredients off. Backpack full of gemstones here. Strange oil. Lasts for an hour and is worth 3,000. Okay. Projectile parts. Please tell me you've got them back in stock. Nope. The guy has got tons of flaming arrows for sale, but I wouldn't want to actually buy them that way. That's an incredibly expensive way to buy arrows. And I guess the general store hasn't got a refresh on them either. Ah! There we go. Give. Sweet. Right. Let's go and visit our friend who likes us very much, although they all like us very much now, so I guess we don't really have to worry about this too much. Actually, who doesn't? Who are we not maxed out with? The Arcanium and the Circle of Danatar. I love this idea that they'll join me in battle, but they don't join me in battle. Unless there's some special battle at the end of the game that they join you in for.
How are you today?
We do require your services.
Okay. Chainmail of sturdiness. Oil of sharpness. Like, I love the idea of this. +3 is a huge bonus. Making a weapon magical also is useful for against things like spectral spiders and stuff. But I'm pretty sure that that is worth a huge sum of money. Like, who is going to drink 663 gold? That's 1/3 of that suit of armor that I could get. Yeah, might as well. The only problem with this is standard invisibility is not very good. Just makes you invisible for 1 turn. And then As soon as you attack, you become visible again. Elven Thin Blade, it's just a +1. So it's inferior to the Doomblade Rapier, because the Doomblade Rapier's got quite a cool effect. And it just straight up is inferior to the Whiteburn Blade. And it's going to be inferior to the old shanking device as well, so that can go. I need to check whether that's useful or not. That is definitely not useful. The only reason why I'm keeping these antitoxins is in case we, if we encounter an enemy that is really dangerous and is also a poison machine, then I can take that before the battle and away we go. Okay. Das Boots. Cast Levitate every hour. What is the point? What is the point in Levitate? It's not even a useful skill. Except for that one time I used it to get into the tower. This is my ration hauler. Okay, I'm going to say that these are going to be sold. Let's move them to the back of the queue. That'll be sold to the right person. The old giant strength potion is not that. But they're not worth that much money either. Oh, we'll get a few hundred gold for it. Oh man, these are actually worth 2,000 each. Just for a tiny boost. I'm probably gonna... I'll sell them, what the hell. I went to all that effort to make a chainmail of sturdiness and I bloody found one. Sure, why not? Can't cast spells, but he's got nothing else in the slot. Whatever. Let's clean out his inventory, actually. Instead of just moving it down the queue.
Deputies, how are you today?
Okay. Alright, so that's his inventory cleaned out. Next. Probably pass that down. Obviously the primed stuff could potentially just be made into something which would then sell for a lot more. I don't need to walk around with a standard shield anymore. I can't imagine a world in which this brooch of shielding is actually useful. How much would you give me for one of these? Oh, a lot. Okay, let's just sell them. Because there's gear I could buy that would... Like, I could buy the tome of +2 strength that would actually be a permanent upgrade. Although, it might not work with this. But I could buy the Dex one for the Rogue, for example. And that would definitely work. Or the Constitution one. There are ways to utilize gold to get permanent advantages. Okay, bolts. I don't need this wand. I'm sure if I need a wand, I'll find one or buy one. Right, before we proceed, let's see what's going on with these gloves. Gloves of missile snaring. Can use reaction to reduce the damage of an incoming missile. There might be some marginal utility for that. But it would have to be on someone who never uses their reaction for anything useful. Like, the mage, well, sorceress, uses her reaction for counterspell. The rogue uses their reaction for uncanny dodge, which is better. And he uses his reaction to actually hit people. The only person who doesn't use their reaction in a constructive way is my cleric. Right, let's move some arrows. Just still working on my inventory here. Flash bolts, let's move that to the bottom because we're going to empty those. We're going to empty her inventory away. Corrosive arrow, just one. Oh, he is actually using them. Alright, pass that down. Pass the bolts down. I'm keeping the bolts in case. You know. There could be an enchanted crossbow or something out there somewhere. In which case I can drag all the special bolts out of storage. But the bottom line is, no matter how special the arrows are, or how special the bolts are, they're not going to outperform a bow that's +1 and has a 1d8 on top. Like, most arrows do not perform +1 +1d8. The Tiger Fang is probably the only one. 3d6. I would swap 1d8 +1 for 3d6. But that's about it. Like, only the very top end arrows have got any chance of outperforming a standard, just a magical bow that just comes with damage built into it. Alright, if it's everyone's favourite material girl. Let's pass that down for selling, let's pass that down for selling. I'm so disappointed by this because I love the idea of a weapon that adds 1 AC. But it requires attunement. Would I really attune it? That's the question. Would you ever really, you know, attune it for any reason? I'm going to presume that that's a breastplate of sturdiness as well. We'll just get them gone. Because he's got this belt, he's actually pretty solid in melee combat now. He wasn't before, but he is now. And to be frank, once the spell slots start running out, it's nice to have that as a capability. Because his cantrips are bad. At least the mage has got good cantrips. Or potentially good cantrips, so it's not such a big deal. It's also so funny to me that this is a simple weapon. But the one person who might really benefit from it can't use it. Because I would totally equip it on her. She can't use a shield, of course. If she could use a shield, then we would use a shield. We would use the same spell casting technique here of just holding a shield and keeping a hand free for spell casting. So I get the feeling that I should probably just sell this arcane shield staff. But we're going to do a full equipment review. And then we'll decide whether it's worth it or not, but... yeah, I really don't think so. For some reason this is being marked as an unknown when it's in that slot. But if I put it the other way around... very odd. Okay. That's just a sellable. That's also a sellable. You know, it's a bit of a shame that I've got this oil here that could be used for crafting scrolls. The scrolls that I can craft are all for spells that I will never know. I suppose in theory I could learn Fog Cloud. But it just would have been nice because I could make some scrolls and just sell them. Just purely as a money spinning exercise. It would have been nice. Who knows, maybe I'll find some... maybe I'll find something. One thing that I do want to do is split this stack. There we go. Wait, can he? Okay. I was wondering about that. Basically, only Revivify can only be cast by spellcasters, even as a scroll, so... I think, because I'm pretty sure Revivify is a special spell that's been added to Solasta. I don't think it's a real D&D spell. I think Raise Dead is, which comes with all the associated pain and penalties. Which I guess would mean it would be a good idea to put this crown on, like, someone who's not a spellcaster. If you can. Because then you could move Revivify onto someone who's not a spellcaster. Oh well, whatever. Not the biggest deal. Okay, we don't have anything else in our inventory. There's a fair bit of value in that fungus, Jesus. Okay.
Deputy.
We're almost done.
We do require your services.
We just had some serious inventory management to do. Right. I'm gonna suggest that this is just a +2 staff or something. No? Huh. +2 int on ability checks. And elemental resistance. But can I... you know, that might actually be worth equipping.
A little light is always welcome.
But we have to keep the old...
Let there be light.
Oh wait, does this glow? No, surely not. So the issue here is that it's versatile. And what that means is that it operates as a two-handed weapon when you have a hand free. But I believe we can still spellcast with it in hand. I will take it. Although I'm not sure how useful +2 int will be, because we are a charisma caster, not a int caster. And he is a wisdom caster, also not an int caster. But the elemental resistance seems quite useful. And we just have to make sure that if we use a light source, that we we need to make sure that we switch to our secondary. Because if we switch to light source, we're going to get this.
Are the light bringers.
And then we will not be able to cast. Which is the problem I had before, which I just decided that it was such an annoyance. It was such a pain in the ass to constantly deal with it. That I just figured it was easier to not have her hold anything.
Deputies, how are you today?
We do require your services.
But yeah, the +1 AC staff would be perfect. Because that's a genuinely quite sweet bonus, but... not happening. Okay, so inventory now is mostly clear for everybody. How much would you give me for this? Oof, 1,000 gold. Pretty sweet. Let's get rid of the silly boots. And the dire wolf pelt. And the junk swords. And the scroll of laughter. Okay. Burdened poison arrow. Burden poison arrow. Is that something I know how to make? Potion of healing, potion of greater healing. Scroll of detect magic. You know what's funny is I can make that. If it uses up that oil, I might make some profit there. Or like Scroll of Guiding Bolt, that's another one that I can make. Oh, mass healing word, eh? Burden, poisoned arrow. Queen's blood, poisoned arrow. Torpor, poisoned arrow. Tiger Fang, Long Night, Torpor, Ghoul's Caress, Deep Pain, Dark Stab. Do you know what? Burden is not one that we have. Oh, I can make Wall of Fire Scrolls. Sweet. Turn it into money. Alright. Cool. We have a way of using up the oil. And another thing that I've been stockpiling. It seems like moonflower is an ingredient that... Moonflower seems to be an ingredient that's used in a lot of things.
We do require your services.
Just try and convert my materials into stuff. What I really wanted to do is find how to make brains melted here. Heroic potions or potions of speed. Doesn't seem to be a thing that I can do. Healing remedies are not worth anything. Potions of greater healing are worth something, but they're not great. Oh, this uses refined oil. Sweet. Ha! Oh man, this uses a load of stuff that I have plenty of. But is it a good arrow? Oh, it inflicts restrained, like the tentacle does. Nice. Begin. As Kane would say to his cyber hackers. Okay, and I finally found parts, so I can make whatever I want, really. Flash arrows or flaming arrows. I don't know, flash arrows are not that useful. I mean, they do one d6 light damage, save for half. That's actually not bad. All right, let's get to work on flame arrows first, because primordial lava stones. Oh, they are used in flash arrows too. You know what? Flash arrows are better. Let's start making them. Light is a damage type that's much harder to evade. Alright, good. We've unlocked a load of things that we could potentially, while we're travelling and while we're faffing around, we could create those items and utilize them. It's so funny that I can't ever get rid of that key. At least it doesn't weigh anything. Stuck with that quest item key forever. To the box! A whole lot of bolts, and the one bolt that seems to have the wrong graphic because it looks like an arrow. Who knows? One day I might find a crossbow. And if I don't, a magical crossbow, I mean. And if I don't, then I might just one day loot that container and just sell all those arrows. I wonder if this guy sells moonflower. Because if it's not an expensive ingredient to buy, then I have a lot of things that require moonflower as an ingredient. Okay, it is expensive. I mean, like, relatively speaking. Alright. I'll get the money back. I'll get the money back in terms of getting good arrows out of it. Do you know, if only the rest of the game was like the crafting and arrow system and archery thing. I actually think that that a lot of thought and effort has gone into crafting arrows. It's actually the most interesting part of the game. Right. I think that encrypted spellbook, I can only sell it to Danatar. Yeah. Which is fine, because they're one of the factions I need to improve my reputation with anyway.
Deputies, do you have anything for the circle?
Oh boy, do I.
Take a look.
Take a look at this.
Stay in the light, deputies. Deputies?
Deputies! It's been an hour and it doesn't feel like we've accomplished a lot, but we have. There it is, Dwarven Plate. AC set to 20. AC set to 20 is pretty powerful. But also this Colthanian chain. AC set to 16. Oh yeah, I remember actually, we were looking at this, and I think it's not worth it because of the dex bonus is worth 5 for him. Usually it shows you all the bonuses. He's got 12 and then 5. So this is 17. And then +1 coming from something. Answers on a postcard. Oh yeah, Armor Master. Of course, I always forget about Armor Master. Usually, when you hover over the number, it actually shows you all of your effects. Like that, see? -2 for Dex because... Oh, look, there we go, see? 12 for leather armor, plus 5 for Dex, 1 for armor master. So we calculated it successfully. So his armor is worth 17.
Deputies?
Which means that the chain is actually...
We do require your services.
it's actually worse. We would get 17 with this. Although it's medium armor anyway, so... And that's 16 and that's 16. This +2 shield is probably worth a buy. +1 plate. I really don't want to buy rubbish heavy armor when there's, you know, good heavy armor right there, as it were. Speaking of which, this shield has actually not been identified. Bright Wall. Cast light at will. Cast daylight once every day. Wow, that's amazing. But you have to be attuned to it. So it's just another thing on my list of things that require attunement. I'm going to presume that this works fine as a shield without attunement. That puts an interesting question on us, actually. I'd rather have the 2 AC, to be honest. I think that the Dwarven Plate is actually the best item. That makes for an interesting question, and that interesting question is, if you're not attuned to the shield, you still get the AC. Yeah, +2 for Bright Wall. That's the same armor as a +1 shield, right? Huh. So it's actually not as good as all that. Unless you want the spells. Which, you know, Daylight is a great spell, actually. To be fair, against the right target. It is definitely a good spell. But actually, the +2 shield is better.
Deputies?
We do require your services.
That gives me hope for this. Because who wants Shield of Faith and Mage Armor? Just want it for the AC, right? Yeah, +2 shield. +4. So, actually better. How interesting. very close to being able to afford that plate. And I think that's a very big upgrade. From 17 to 20 is a pretty big upgrade. I don't think anyone's going to get much benefit out of that. Okay, alright. We're going to buy that plate and we're going to sell some stuff. Okay, alright. So, let's go with... Definitely want the archery bracers. He definitely wants the belt. And I think he definitely wants the boots as well, because he needs to be able to close in on his victims. Okay, out of interest, AC 20. If you're just carrying this but not attuned to it, do you get the AC? No. Okay, you don't. Ability checks. Isn't his standard strength like 13 or something terrible? Yeah, shine, not very useful. Should I attune that? Okay. Let's go through our characters now and figure out what secondaries they're going to have, or what their 3 attuned items are going to be. Leaving the things that characters desperately have to have. Okay, I feel like because of her unbelievably poor physical characteristics, she does need these. Okay, the bracers make obvious sense. She can never wear the int circlet, so she'll never have a good intelligence score. So she'll never be able to use these correctly. Poison damage is halved is just like a thing that I figured would be useful, but actually isn't. Okay, so this guy sees more melee combat than the dwarf does. So I would rather see him use this. That leaves... Yeah, Uncanny Dodge is better than that. Halved poison damage and moving along walls and such. Sure, I guess so. Why not? He's got nothing better to do. Obviously, I can improve his AC, but what's the point? He is not going to be the main tank most of the time, and he can get away most of the time from pursuers. So I think the one change I want to make is that I want to make him stronger, because he is much more likely to be in a melee. Okay, so this is the main tank. So this is the guy that I would most want to be tougher. I guess it doesn't matter if he casts Dispel Magic. I believe that just always works. The only issue here is... What is the heavy armor penalty anyway? It's just a stealth disadvantage, right? Yeah, I don't think this is gonna dominate person, hold monster, and hold person. I don't think they're really gonna work for anybody. Strength AC. Do you know what? Strength disadvantage is not a big deal for him, and he has a massive encumbrance, so he doesn't really need the encumbrance aspect of it. Let's just tweak up this guy's AC as much as possible. Maybe if I can shove a +2 shield on him as well, that would be big. Okay, so I left this on him because ability checks is useful only for spellcaster anyway. So I guess the question now is, do we want the 1 AC or do we want +2? Because I think I could attune this, actually, and it wouldn't be a big deal. No, it would be a big deal, wouldn't it? Because I need the strength. So, I wouldn't, you know, I'm taking him up to 19 strength here. Still a lot of strength. I think having a reserve melee capability is more important than just gaining 1 AC. Though it would be nice to have 1 AC. If I was to put this on instead of the hammer, then what I'm basically saying is that I'm just going to cast cantrips all day long instead of trying to melee. And that's not necessarily a bad idea. You know what's funny though? This spell upgrades at level 11, and I think the game will not allow us to go past level 10, it would seem. So we may not get any more powerful. And of course, if you're holding a shield and the staff, then you can't cast any of this anyway. Yep, just it doesn't make any sense. This arcane shield staff doesn't make any sense. And I think this bow should reside, because we're not going to switch to that either, I don't think. I had an idea that I would, you know, bring the bow out for sniping in certain situations, but it's such an edge case. It's only going to happen when I'm all out of spells. And I need ranged. Yeah, forget it. Can't use it. Just doesn't make any sense to use it. Which is sad. I will keep the Medusa bow though, because you never know, we might encounter an enemy that's immune to light. It's nice to have choices on damage types. It's the same reason why I'm keeping all my different single-handed weapons. Oh, speaking of which, doesn't he have longsword as a proficiency? Now that he's ambidextrous, he could actually be using a longsword. Fire and pierce and slash. 1d8 plus 1d8 plus 1. This is actually... This is actually an upgrade for him. I always forget to change the Doom Blade out as well. You want to hit with the Doom Blade and inflict the cut. And then once the enemy has the Doom Blade cut, you could, in theory, swap the blade out and go for something else instead. Another high-grade longsword, though, would be good. If I ever find the bits necessary. Like the Stormblade longsword. I think that's what I wanted the Cloud Gem for, actually. Well, we'd have to find a primed longsword for that. Poison. That's acid, actually. Psychic. +1 on 3d4 is actually pretty nice. Shame there's no scimitars that are interesting either. Black Viper. Okay, alright, I think we're done. So the 2 items that didn't make the cut. Are these 2. 1, 2, 3. I think I'd rather use a ring than that cloak, but it's what I have. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Wait a minute. Yeah. I was going to say, the Ring of Necromancy requires attunement, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. 1, 2, 3. So these 2 didn't make the cut.
Deputies?
We do require your services.
Goodbye. Such a shame, but the limit of 3 attuned items is really rather punishing and strict. What are the odds that I find another one of these? What are the odds that I find this armor somewhere instead of having to buy it? Longsword +2, eh? Shortbow +2. Yeah, none of that is useful. So the things that I want from here, obviously, are the plate and the shield. I'm gonna go with the plate because this is a absolutely huge upgrade, and I'm gonna be very sad if I find a better one out there. Then I'm gonna be a very sad panda. But hey. The decision is made.
Deputies?
Right, I'm gonna get my stuff attuned, and then that's it. This has been like the longest episode ever, but I just want to get all this inventory management done and move on. Move on with my life. Apparently dropping items on the floor removes attunement. Yes, this. I'm pretty sure this is what he is using now. You might need attunement to get that int bonus, actually. Man, the attune system is really, actually... kinda killing it. It means that a +2 shield will be better for him. Just outright better. Because I'll get +1 AC out of it. I can't get any of the special effects out of that without attunement. DOS boots. Probably the same with this thing. You know, it's sad. The +2 int and the elemental resistance I don't think is worth trading any of these for. +1 to AC is a very nice bonus. It will not actually be outdone very easily. I've forgotten what the correct... I wish it would actually just show you what's attuned to who here. Okay, that looks all correct. Correct. Now correct. 27 AC. 28 with a +2 shield. Once we find the gold for it. 27 AC. So we've just taken our AC, I think it was 22 or 23 before, and we have just brought it up massively. This is going to make this guy able to tank far more effectively than he did before. Okay, good. All correct. And all correct. I think these guys previously had AC of 20 and an AC of 20. And an AC of 20, but spreading around your AC is actually not really that useful. Better to have one character who's just incredibly hard to hit and make them take everything. So against the dragon, because the dragon had +13, which is insane to me, but +13. So if you take 13 off that, that's 14. So we're still only going to take 1/4 of hits. So that's quite impressive. Okay, and there's nothing else to do in town, I think. I think we can call ourselves fully worked out. So all we want to do now is we want to get that +2 shield, because that's obviously an upgrade.
Clear skies, my friends.
And let's have a look at any other
We do
possibilities
require your services.
before we wrap up. So what else is there that could potentially be useful to us? You're not allowed to buy items twice, so forget having a belt of giant strength on everybody, because that's not happening. Yeah, so none of this is useful. I don't understand why levitate is so valuable, but okay, whatever. Can't buy another set of them because they're we already bought them. Cold damage is halved. Not really something that I would want to give up anything for. Can't buy those again. And we wouldn't want to anyway. Unfortunately, can't buy the braces of archery again. I would love to have a second set of these, because they would be amazing on well, either of my mages, to be honest. A high grade bow and but their dex is bad. Still, could be good on my warrior actually. But yeah, I mean, one is plenty. Just another stealth cloak. Doesn't really strike me as that useful. Cloak of protection, +1. That's actually very nice. In fact, I would almost be tempted. Funny to say, but I'd rather have +1 than have this. But it, you know, I'm burning money there. Gotta save up for my shield first. Doesn't outperform anything that he's got. And it doesn't really outperform anything that she's got unless I want to trade the boots out, but that's probably not what I want to do. An endless arrow quiver. Generates 20 arrows every hour. What fun. Doesn't require attunement. I'm not sure what you would do with all those arrows, but hey. Just more slighting for the crossbow. Never gets anything special. These manuals would be nice as well. +2 dex for the rogue would be nice. +2 con for anybody, really. +2 strength, not that useful since I'm using belts to increase strength. And his base strength is 19. So we'd never really get rid of we'd never get rid of a strength booster by using that. So I don't think that that's actually very useful. Charisma would obviously be great because it would improve his casting. Charisma would improve her casting. Wisdom would improve his casting. Int is not useful to me really, except I guess, you know, to improve the spells that come with rings. But it wouldn't be enough of a boost to make those work for me. So the short answer is no. There is nothing that we want. There's nothing that we want anymore. Apart from the manuals. This does not require attunement. I guess you could get the Necklace of Fireballs at some point, if you want a free fireball, because it doesn't require attunement. But yeah, the +2 shield and the manuals, I think, are all that's left that would be a meaningful upgrade to my party. And potentially a high-grade longsword for my buddy, but I don't think that primed longswords... I don't think there's any more primed longswords out there for me. I do not believe that this guy comes with an unlimited supply of primed longswords. Okay, and then we are definitely done with this this inventory management episode. Whew. Imagine splitting this into 2 episodes. It's not going to make anyone happy, I don't think. But it's important.
Clear skies, adventurers.
I know a lot of people would edit all this stuff out, but it's actually a critical part of the game.
We do require your services.
Wow, that armor seems to have great big holes in the joints of the arms there. Yeah, there's no primed longswords anymore. Oh, there is a primed longsword. It's sat right there. And I'll take that rapier too, because I think there's another rapier that's quite nice. Would you believe it? There is a primed longsword just sat there. I'm making arrows at the moment, but I don't think I can make another dragon blade, but I could make the storm blade. Which I don't think it's the same one as we gave away to what's his face. I don't think it's any better than I'll make a Black Viper as well. I don't think they're any particularly better than the Dragon Blade, but give us more damage options in melee combat. So, okay, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.